Okay, so with the Oscars just around the corner, I wanted to actually be able to review some of the movies that are contending this year. And so I wanted to focus on Best Picture for just the beginning half of some of these new videos. But the film I'm talking about today is going to be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's written and directed by Quentin Tarantino. So at the beginning of the year, this was one of my favorite movies. I think it was hands down my favorite movie of the first like half of the year. Like I enjoyed films like Endgame, but Once Upon a Time was really one of those movies that made me go, whoa, I really liked it. So Once Upon a Time in Hollywood stars Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. For those of you who haven't seen the film, a vague plot summary of it is that Rick Dalton, who's played by DiCaprio, is kind of down in his luck. He's kind of like he's getting old as an actor, and so he's kind of past his prime. And so that's kind of the short version of the plot. And so I want to talk about the things that are really good in this movie. So obviously DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, they steal the show. Every scene that they're in, especially when they're together, it's just something as simple as these two talking, and it just makes it's such an enjoyable film. The film's runtime is about 2 hours and 45 minutes, I believe, but I don't necessarily have a problem with it because I don't see a problem with long movies as long as they're not paced terribly. This movie, luckily, is one of those surprising movies that, despite the runtime, it does not feel like a 2 hour and 45-minute movie. I remember the first time I went to go see it, I believe I was at an Alamo Draft House, which is a movie theater, one of those nicer kind of movie theaters. And I remember I checked my phone, not because I wanted to see the movie end, but because I wanted it to continue going. And so luckily I still had like an hour from where I was. But it's just one of those really enjoyable movies. I mean, the third act is really divisive among people, especially with the Sharon Tate situation, but I personally didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was enjoyable for what it was. It's definitely a slow building movie, so I can understand why some people think that it's just too long or it's not as interesting, but it's still, regardless, to me personally, it's one of my favorites of the year. The last, I want to say 20-30 minutes themselves is just crazy intense, and it's just amazing. So the performance is really good, the script's really good. I can't take anything away from that. The script is phenomenal. The performances are good, the script's good, the directing is really well done. I couldn't think of anything that was necessarily boring in this movie. I mean, some scenes are more fast-paced than others, but I wouldn't say they're necessarily boring at all. It's still in my top 5 of this year, of last year technically, but I think it might not deserve to win the Best Picture in my opinion, but it does definitely stand to be nominated among the Best Pictures. So I'd definitely give it a check it out. I'm gonna do the rest of the Best Picture rankings. I'm gonna do some videos on them, giving you my input on movies like Jojo Rabbit and Ford v Ferrari, because I'll talk about those movies too. But if you have any other movies that you guys want me to review, let me know down there, and I'll see you guys next time.